Okay, guys, good morning. Hope you're all doing well. Right. So, guys, going forward, if I ask everybody that did you understand, and if I ask everybody to reply, and if I don't see any names replying, right, I will take it up, right. So this has been happening for past few days, not first few days, for so many days it's been happening, right. There are 7, 8 people, but replying only like will be 5, 6, right? 2 or 3 will always be missing. I don't know what really happens with you. Either you don't listen to the class, you just log in and just go out like and sleep, right? Or whatever it is, like I really don't care. From now on, if I ask you specifically, or say if I ask you everybody together to reply me yes or no, I want a reply. And it's pretty. That's the smallest I can ask of you, right? Okay, fine. So let me share my screen. We'll start it right away. So we started with general organic chemistry, right? So we started with IUPAC naming, right? So in the IPAC naming, I told you there are going to be, if you want to name a compound, there are going to be certain rules which you have to follow, right? Say first rule, what is the first rule? First rule was
Identifying the longest main chain.
longest possible chain. That longest possible chain is what is called the main chain, right? Okay. And then what is the second point?
Numbering the carbons.
That's it. In what way? What should I keep in mind when numbering the carbon atoms in the main chain? Just like that, you have full liberty to go from left to right or from right to left or wherever you can start, wherever you can end. Is it like that?
According to the priority.
Correct. Right. So you have to remember that you have to remember the priority order of all the groups, right? And the one which has maximum priority has to get the lowest possible number. Please remember this. Okay. The one group which has the highest priority in that particular compound, right, should get the lowest possible number. Right. So these are pretty much any examples. So we'll see more examples now. Okay. Say I have say I put a double bond here. Okay. And then say I put a triple bond here. And say I keep an OH, like something like this, some compound like this. Okay. Now tell me, there are 3 groups, right? Now out of them, which has maximum priority? Well, first of all, what are the 3 groups? Tell me here. Yes, what are the 3 groups?
OH group,
Hmm.
double bond and triple bond.
Exactly. That's it. These 3 are the groups. There are no other branches. There is no methyl or ethyl or whatever it is. Okay. Now double bond, triple bond, OH, which has maximum priority.
OH, sir.
Exactly. Right. So OH has maximum priority. So you have to number the carbon atom in such a way that OH gets the minimum possible number. Right. Say obviously now which I have to start? I have to start from right or to start from left?
Right, sir.
Right, sir.
Correct. Right. So like now if this OH was not there, right? If this OH was not there, then which side I should have started? Hope you understood my
From
question.
our left, sir.
Yeah, correct. Right. If this OH was not there, then double bond has more priority than triple bond, isn't it? So in that case, double bond will get least possible number. But in this case, even though you have triple bond to have least priority, but still you will start numbering from here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This is how you number it, right? Naming we'll see later how to name it. Okay, so This is how you number the carbon atoms. Right. Now we'll see some cyclic structures also. Right. I hope you remember, guys. There are I can have straight. These are what are called as straight chain compounds. Right. And I have something called as cyclic compounds also. Right. Say cyclic compounds can be, say, a 3-membered ring, or a 4-membered ring, or a 5-membered ring, or a 6-membered ring. So all these things are, again, I can have more than 6-membered ring also, but generally you will see only these 4, 3, 4, 5, and 6-membered rings. Okay, and hope you know the names also. Right, so the names are pretty similar. You just see the number of carbon atoms, how many number of carbon atoms are there. You just add a cyclo before that. Anyways, in naming we'll see later. Right, so anyways, this is going to be called cyclopropane, cyclobutane, cyclohepentane, cyclohexane. Right, so these are the different cyclic structures. Okay, so in cyclic structures, now there is no specifically that you have to start numbering only from here. Say you have to put 1 only here, or 1 only here, or 1 only here, as long as there are no substituents. Right, but if there are substituents on the ring, right, say for example, okay, I have a 6-member ring, and say I have a methyl group here. Right, so now there is no doubt there is only one substituent, there's only one group, and obviously that group has to get the least number. Right, that is the maximum priority. So you will start 1 with this carbon atom. Oh god, wait guys. Okay, say you, if the methyl group is here, you will start 1 here, and you can go put 2 either here or here. Right, but again, depending on whether I have substituents or not. Right, say for example, if I had a substituent here, right, if I had a substituent here also, a methyl group is here also. Right, now if both are methyl groups, you can start with either of the methyl groups, because if both of them have equal priority. Right, but if I have 2 methyl groups like this, I mean, one ethyl group, 1 methyl group, then it will be different. Anyways, say for example, if both are methyl groups, right, so you start 1 from here and put 2 here. You cannot put 2 here, no. Right, this is wrong. Why? Because there are 2 groups, both the groups has to get the least possible number. That's what you need to understand. Right, or say if you put 1 here to this carbon, 2 has to come to this carbon. Right, you cannot put 1 here and 2 here, no, that is again wrong. Okay, right, now if I take an example where I have 1 ethyl group and 1 methyl group, say, okay, I'll say, okay, fine, no issues, I'll just make some space. Say I put a 5-membered ring. Okay, a 5-membered ring. Say I put 1 ethyl group, and say I put 1 methyl group. Me, Et represents ethyl, Me represents methyl group. Right, so obviously I know ethyl group has more priority. Right, so obviously I have to put the carbon number 1 here, there is no doubt about it. Right, now this obvious second priority goes to methyl group. Right, now you have to check methyl group also should get the least possible number, so we'll see how it goes. So if I put 2 here and 3 here and 4 here, I'm getting 4 for methyl. Right, but if I put 1 here, 2 here, and 3 here, I'm getting 3 for methyl group. So obviously that side is only correct. 1, 2, 3. Right, that is 1, 2, 3. That's how you must go. If you go like this side, I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm getting for this. Right, no, but both of them has to get the least possible number. Okay, now there will be some little more confusion when you go for double bonds in cyclic structures. Okay, so what happens? Say for example, I have the same 5-membered ring only and take. Okay, now say I place a double bond. Right, now say I put 1 methyl group. Okay, 1 methyl group I put, and say here I put another methyl group. Right, okay, now tell me what will be the numbers for methyl groups. What will be the numbers? I don't want the name. I'm just asking you, what will be the numbers for the two methyl groups?
1, 2.
That's what we should not do, right? This is the confusion people will have, right? Now, tell me, priority goes to which group?
Methyl.
No.
Double bond.
Correct. Priority goes to double bond, right? So either you can start with this carbon atom or with this carbon atom, you can put one. That's the only choice you have because that only has more priority, right? Now, where will you put the first carbon atom depends on the other two methyl groups' number also, obviously, right? Now, guys, what you have to understand is if you put, for example, if you put one in this carbon atom, right? Now there is no other way you can go. You have to put two here only. What is this? Oh, sorry. Yeah, you have to put two here only. Now the thing is, whenever you have a double bond, you have to travel through the double bond. Whenever you have a ring, always remember that. Okay, whenever you have a double bond in the ring, you put the first wherever you put the first carbon atom, that is the double bond, you have to travel through the double bond. You cannot put one here and two here. That's absolutely wrong. Okay, when you have to travel through the double bond. Hope you understand what you mean by travel through the double bond. Okay, that means if you put one here, right, you have to put two here only. There is no other choice when you have a double bond. Okay, hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Right, fine. Now there are two choices, either one here and two here, or one here and two here are the only choices. There is no other way you can go. Right, now which way I have to go, again going to depend on which way I'm going to get lesser number for methyl group. Right, okay, now if I put one here, two here, three here, four here, five here, and six, oh sorry, for only five, right? Five carbon atoms I put like this, or say this is clockwise, right? Now, that is the other way. One here, oh, sorry. One here, two here, three here, right? And then four here and five here, right? Now, which is correct, obviously. Now, if you go from this side, you are getting what? Five and one, isn't it? One and five, you see, one and five if you go from this side. But if I go from this side, what do you see? You're getting one in the methyl group and what is it? Sorry, one here, two here in methyl group and three here in methyl group. You're getting 2, 3. That only is correct. Okay, guys, did you understand what I'm trying to say? Here we'll get 2, 3. How 2, 3? You have to start. I told you when you have a double bond, you have to start either with a double bond. I mean, either of the, or you have to travel through the double bond. That means if you put one, you have to put two here and then continue. And if you put one here, you have to put two here. Right? So, but if I go this way, whatever I have marked here, you're getting higher number for methyl groups. But if you go from this side, whatever I told you, there you're getting 2, 3 for methyl. That is only lowest possible number. Yes, everybody understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what about others? Everybody understood, guys? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think, okay. Quickly, there are how many? 6 people, I guess. Right? Okay. Fine. Cool. So I hope everybody understood. How is it 2, 3? Right? When you have cyclic structures, you have to keep this also in mind. Only one thing you have to keep in mind. Priority is one thing, definitely. And second thing is that when you have a double bond, you have to travel through the double bond. There is no other choice for you. Okay, this you keep in mind. Right? Okay, now anything, any compound given to you, I think now you'll be able to number. 2 things you'll be able to do perfectly. One thing is identifying the longest possible chain. Second thing would be to number the carbon atoms according to priority. 2 things if you do perfectly, rest all are very easy. Okay, now I told you that the IUPAC name of a compound contains 3 things, isn't it? One is my prefix. I told you prefix is going to talk about the branches, is it not? Right, the prefix is going to talk about the branches, right? Now, whenever you go to prefix, whenever you're going to talk about, or whenever you're going to give information about the prefix, right? What and all are the information you should give? Now, first information is what is there, right? What means whether it's a methyl group or say an ethyl group or something else or a double bond, and double bond will not give it as prefix, but still, right? Whenever you put it as branches, right? What is there? Methyl group or ethyl group or OH group, what is there, right? That's the first information you need to give. Second information is where is it? That is, you have given a number to the carbon atoms, right? You should in the previous step, right? You should have given numbers to all the carbon atoms in the main chain, right? So that this where talks about that particular number, which carbon atom the branch is attached to. Second question. Third question is how many. That means, say whether you have two methyl groups or one methyl group, one ethyl group, or something else. When you have a two double bond, something, how many means you have, like you have to specify with di, tri, tetra, something, something. You must have seen 2,3 dimethyl butane, 2,2 dimethyl butane, right? So whenever you talk about prefix people, these three things should be answered. Okay, what is the prefix? That is, what is the branch? Where is the prefix? Where is the branch? And how many of that particular thing is there, right? And this is for one prefix, that is for one branch. You have to do this for how many ever branches you have. That means if I have two different things, one methyl group and one ethyl group, right? You have to do all this for the methyl group, and you have to do all this for the ethyl group also. And if you have more than that, again for all of them also you have to do this. Okay, right. Now that's about the prefix part, right? Now root. Now the next part of the IUPAC naming is root word. Root word is very easy. Once you get the longest possible chain, you'll put the root word, meth or hex or hept or whatever it is, right? Now, when you go to suffix people, the suffix comes at the last, right? You have three parts. Hope you remember. Right. So when I go to suffix, okay, now again, all these three questions has to be answered, right? So basically I told you suffix was going to talk about what is the most functional. See guys, right? Please understand, say when you have in a compound, you have a ketone also, an alcohol also, right? So obviously it cannot be both a ketone and alcohol. Okay, I repeat, right? What I'm trying to tell you is, I will take an example where I have a compound in which there are two functional groups. Means, say it can be a case where I have a double bond and an alcohol, right? So how will you call it? You cannot call it just as an alkene or an alcohol. Same way, if you have a ketone and an alcohol with you in the same compound, it cannot be both. What to say? It can be both aldehyde, ketone and an alcohol, right? So whichever is the most dominant functional group, right? Now for that functional group, you'll write the prefix. Okay, so obviously when you have a alcohol and a double bond, the more priority group is alcohol, so the suffix has to be according to the alcohol. Same way, if you have a ketone and an alcohol, right, obviously I know ketone has more priority, so the suffix has to be all according to the ketone, not the alcohol. Hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Even though you have 100 functional groups, but suffix, you are out of the 100 functional group, whichever is the most prioritized functional group, for that only you will write the suffix. Okay, please make a note of it. Suffix you will write only for the most prioritized group, right? Other things you will go for prefix. You will treat them as branches. Do you understand? Right, fine. So suffix also all three questions. That is, what is the functional group? Wait. What? Right. Obviously, next would be where. The number is very important. And obviously the last one would be harmony. Yesterday, Rohan asked a question. You saw there was a die in there. You put a die, right? Meaning that there are two double bonds, right? So again, all these three questions should be answered. Okay, right. Now this you know, right? Now the next thing is, what are all the prefix and suffixes I can use for a particular compound, for a particular functional group? That also you need to know, right? Okay, so we'll make a small table, right? You'll make a small table and see for different functional groups what can be prefixes and what can be suffixes, right? Now the rules, you should know what information I have to give about the suffix, right? And what are all the exact prefixes and suffixes for all the functional groups. That if you know, you are really going to master the IUPAC naming. That's what it's going to be. All right, fine, we'll see that. Right, say I'll make a table, right? Say first one is the groups, right? Say the prefix part, right? And suffix part. Now suffix I have again secondary suffix and primary suffix. I told you, right? There are two suffixes, secondary and primary suffix. Okay, so these three are gonna be in my table, right? Okay, say first I take alkyl groups R, right? If only hydrocarbons are there, right? Now if you're going to treat them as branches, you know how you're going to do that. It's going to be called alkyl. Now how do you write? Methyl, ethyl, propyl. That would have been come in the branches prefix part, right? And the secondary, I mean, when you go for suffix, when only when only this thing is there, basically when I'm talking about saturated compounds, when you have only C single bond Cs, there are no double bonds or triple bonds, right? That's what I'm talking, right? Say single bonds is only I'm talking about, right? So the suffix part is going to end with in, right? Because they're going to be called as alkenes, isn't it? Right? You can even write the name also, alkenes, right? It has to end with a. Now, what do you mean by a secondary suffix? I'll tell you what you mean by a secondary suffix. Now, for now, you just know that the secondary suffix for an alkane is an. Okay, I'll tell you when to use it. Don't worry. Okay, fine. So that is the first one. Second, when I go for C double bond Cs, that is my alkenes, right? The C double bond C alkenes. Now, whenever you have to, there will be cases where sometimes very rarely that even double bond might be treated as a branch. I'll give you an example if you want later, right? So alkenes can be treated as double bond, but very rarely. In that case, what you have to give as prefix is like this: alkenyl, right? So if you have a two carbon atom double bond as a branch, you'll call it as ethenyl or propenyl, something like that, right? And secondary suffix will be just en, and primary suffix would be ene, alkene, ene. It has to end with. Okay, fine. Next, when I go for C triple bond Cs, okay, so C triple bond Cs are alkynes. Right, alkynes, right? Now here it would be alkynyl. That is again, sometimes you have to treat your triple bond also as branches sometimes, right? And the secondary suffix here is yn, and the primary suffix is going to be yne, ine, right? So that's about alkanes. Alkanes, and alkynes. Right? Okay, next. Moving on. I think I can just make it centered. Oops. Right. So next thing I will take is my X halogens. right? So halogens, there is no suffix. Please understand, right? There are no suffixes. Even if you have an alkane, like say something like and Br here, right? Now see, you don't see any double or triple bonds. So this is actually an alkane only, an alkane with a Br as substituent. That's how you consider it, right? So you cannot end, you don't have any special names ending for halo compounds. They have only prefix part. That means they will be treated only as branches, no matter what. Okay, done. Fine. So when I have halogens, that is FCl, Br, and I, right? So though for that, it's very simple. The prefix is halo, bromo, chloro, iodo, fluoro, something like that. Okay, and there are no suffix part. Only prefix part is there. Okay, right? Next, when I go for OH, right? OH, right? Suffix is prefix. When sometimes there is a group which is more prioritized than OH, I told you aldehyde or ketone or an acid is there along with OH, right? At that time, you have to treat your OH as a branch, right? So at that time, you have to use this one. It's hydroxy. Okay, we'll see so many examples. You will just for now just know the names, right? And again, one more thing I want to tell you: secondary suffixes exist only for alkanes, alkenes, and alkynes. Only these three you have to remember. There are no secondary suffixes for other thing. Other things has only primary suffixes. That means what exactly I'm going to end with. Okay, fine. So it doesn't have any secondary suffix. And what is the suffix for OH? What is
All.
suffix? Yeah, OL. Right, that's the suffix for OH. Right, fine. Moving on. Right. So next I'll go for aldehyde, say CHO. Actually, let me go for amines first. NH2. Right. So here it is going to be amino. Right. That's the prefix part you will use. And again, there is no secondary suffix, only primary suffix, and that would be amine. It is going to be called amine. Again, in amines, you have three types: primary, secondary, and tertiary. But again, you will go to 12th class and study about them. You will not see much here. Okay, so fine. Next would be an aldehyde, CHO. Right. So when you have a CHO aldehyde, C double, this basically what you have to understand is the structure is like this, guys. You have a C double bond O. And basically, there are going to be two other bonds, isn't it? Right. Say if one of them is an hydrogen, it becomes an aldehyde. Okay. And if both of them are carbon and carbon, the other two groups attached are both carbon and a carbon here, then it becomes a ketone. Right? So even if one of them is hydrogen, it's called an aldehyde. If both of them are carbons, it's going to be called as ketones. Okay, fine. So what I have to use for CHO prefix, wait, I forgot. It's, wait. Aldehydes prefix. Oh, okay, so I'll tell it to you tomorrow. I don't want to tell you something wrong. Okay, so let me fill this part. I know the suffix part will be AL. right? The suffix part is al. It has to end with al, aldehydes, al. This I'll tell you tomorrow. What is this? The prefix part, right? And when you go for a ketone, right? When you go for a ketone, it is oxo, right? You have to use oxo as the prefix, oxo, right? And again, there is no secondary suffix. Primary suffix is on, o, only if ketone is there, right? That's end with one, right? And the last of them all is acids, COOH. Okay, now COOH doesn't have any suffix, doesn't have any prefix, because that is the highest prioritized group. There is no other group which is more prioritized than acids, right? So in that also, obviously it cannot be treated as a branch, right? So it definitely doesn't have a prefix. It has only suffix, and that is oic acid. Okay, oic acid is what is the suffix part. Okay, so guys, you have to know this, all these things, whatever I've mentioned. Without this, you cannot, we cannot name the compounds. Okay, so for aldehyde alone, I'll tell you what is the suffix, prefix part later, right? Other than that, everything is mentioned here. Okay, right? Now we'll take some examples. What is the time? Yeah, we have time. So let me now take some good examples, right? And we'll solve some good questions. Now you know all the rules. You know the first rule, second rule, third rule. I have to tell you that I'll tell you, and you know the suffix and prefix part. Okay, right. Now coming to the last, and there are three rules as I told you. First rule is identifying the longest possible chain. Second rule is numbering the carbon atom in such a way that you're gonna get the lowest possible number for highest prioritized groups. And third and final point, people, in your rules is that whenever you're going to talk about the prefix part or the suffix part, generally it's only it holds you only for prefix part, right? So whenever you're going to talk about prefix part, that is when you have, say, more than one prefix, say you have ethyl group also, methyl group also, you have hydroxy also, say amino also, something like that, right? So whenever you have multiple prefixes coming to you, right? So please remember, you have to write the name. It is not about numbering. People get confused so much, right? Numbering is for priority. Now, this is not about priority. You have numbered everything, done. You're just going to write the compound now, right? The name of the compound. When you write the name of the compound, and if you have multiple prefixes, the multiple prefixes, you have to do it in the alphabetical order. Right? There's multiple prefixes you have to do with the alphabet. A very simple step. That's it. Okay. So these three rules, along with prefixes and suffixes, you are set for the journey. Okay. Now we'll take good number of examples and we'll try to answer those IUPAC names. Okay. Fine. We'll move on. Say the first compound. I'll give you 30 seconds, guys. I'll not give you more than 30 seconds for you to answer, and then I will answer anyways. And then you can check whether you wrote correct or not. Right? So everybody should have a pen and paper with you, and not only for this class, for any class, but for this particular class, very important, because you're gonna draw a structure and you're gonna write the name and tell me the answer. Right? And one more thing, do not what to say, when you write, draw the structure in your notebook, write the name in your notebook, then tell me. Just by looking at the compound, don't tell me the name. You might not get the same, you might not get the same correct answer. Okay, fine, we'll move on. Say I'll start with some simple ones, then we'll slowly increase the difficulty level, right? Okay. Okay, name this compound. 30 seconds. Yes, anybody wants to answer? If you're done answering, if you're done the name, you can tell me the name. Yes. I think someone unmuted. Again, they muted. I think 30 seconds are done. What is the answer? Quick. We have to solve one.
Sir, is that methyl group attached to the
Yes, it is a
main
methyl
chain?
group. And I told you, right? When I
Yes.
don't mention anything, it's a methyl group. Yes.
So then it is it 4-methyl pent 2-ene?
Yeah. Pent 2-ene. Why pent 2-ene, man?
One-ene.
Pent 1-ene. Yeah, pentene. That's it. Yeah. So obviously now sort of starting with this, like you have to identify the longest possible chain, and that is not a pretty difficult job. It's an easy job. You can see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbon atoms in the main chain. That's pretty easy, right? Now, what is the second step? Looking at the priorities. You have a methyl group, you have an alkene, that means C double bond C, definitely C double bond C has to be more priority. So I will start numbering from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Done, right? Now, you have obviously you're going to talk about the suffix for the double bond because that is the most prioritized group here. And obviously for the other groups, you have to go for the prefix, right? And there is only one other thing, that is your methyl group. And so now there is no question of alphabetical order. There is only one group, right? Okay. So now it's going to be, so now we'll start with the prefix. Now, whenever I talk about prefix, I told you 3 things you have to answer. What, where, how many, right? What is it? Methyl group. Where is it? In the 4th position, right? So 4, right? And what it's a methyl group, right? It's a methyl group, right? And that's it. The prefix part is done. Next comes the root word. Root word is there are 5 carbon atoms, so it is going to be pent, right? Now go to the prefix suffix part. Suffix part, again, you have to see what, where, how many, right? What, it's an alkene, so it has to end with "ene," no doubt, right? Where is it? It's there in the 1st position, right? So this is the 1st position, pent 1-ene. Or you don't even have to mention 1 if it's 1. You can just write pentene. That's okay. Or you can even put the 1 here before the pent. It's called 1 pentene or 2 pentene. That also will work. Okay, right, fine. Next question. Move on. Okay, yeah, 30 seconds. Quick.
Sir, that's CH3, sir.
Yeah, that's CH3. One CH3, one C2H5. Wait, let me add one more thing also. I will put a methyl group here. Oh my God, where is the undo button? Thank you so much. Yeah, there's a methyl group here also, guys.
Sir, sir, is it 3-ethyl 4,5-methyl?
That's it.
Hep,
How many? Wait.
1, no, 4,5 dimethyl
Hmm.
and hept 1,7-ene.
Yeah, that's it. That's in. Just in.
A diene.
Yeah, that's it. That's very good. Good attempt. Very nice. Right. Fine. So again, guys, there are three groups here. One is the double bond, methyl group, and ethyl group, and obviously the priority goes to double bond. No doubt. Right. Now, again, whether you start from this side or you start from this side, double bond will have the same number because it is a symmetrical compound. Right. So obviously now you have to look at the other groups. Right. Other groups means what is the next priority? Next priority goes to C2H5. Right. So obviously you have to start numbering from the right. So you will put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, and 7. Done. Right. So now first you will get the prefix part. Now again you have two prefixes because you have ethyl group as well as methyl group. Now alphabetically ethyl comes first. It is not because it is more priority I am writing it first in this case. Please understand. I am going to write ethyl first because that comes alphabetically first. E comes before M. Right. That's why I'm writing, not because it's more priority. Right. Fine. So I have how many? What ethyl? Yeah, third carbon atom. Again, three things. What, how much, how many, and where. Three is it's where is it? So what is it? It's an ethyl group, right? Right, it's an ethyl group. And you see in the fourth and fifth position, you have methyl group. So you have to write it like this. You have to write it as 4, 5. Right, 4, 5. Now you have to say how many also. It's how many? It's 2. So it's di. What is it? Methyl. Right. So done. The prefix part is done. Now you go for the root word. Root word is 7 carbon atoms. So it is hept. Right. Now you have to see what is the suffix part. Again, suffix you see it's going to be because of the double bond. Right. Again, where, how many, what is there, what is double bond in, it has to end with, no doubt. How many are there? Di. Right. That is 2. Right. Where is it? In, you see 1 and 6 position. I think you said 7. No, someone's, I think. Did you say 7, Kanna? Or 1,6 only you told?
Oh, sorry, sir. I told 1,7.
Okay. I think the same mistake you did in the previous question also. You have to look at, because this is 1, the lowest possible number. You see that this 6th and 7th carbon atom has double bond. But again, when you're going to write the number, you have to go with the lowest possible number. That's what you need to do. Okay. Right. Fine. So it's 1, so hept 1,6 di. That's it. Very easy. Okay. Fine. Cool. We'll go to the next question. I hope everybody's understanding. Right. I'm going slowly only. Right. We have 10 more minutes. Okay. Fine. Next question. Say, oh guys, I forgot to tell you one main thing. There is one more thing which is in your functional groups, and that's my ethers. Okay. If you ask me, sir, where it comes in priority, it comes before, say you have a C double bond C, right? Then you have your OR, then you have your OH. That's how you do it, right? OR is the ether group, right? OCH3, OC2H5, something like that. That's the group, right? It's before OH, the priority. Okay. So I'm writing it here, guys. OR is called ether. It's called ether. Okay, maybe let me write OR, right? This thing, what is that? The suffix part for this would be, oh sorry, not methoxy. In general, it should be alkoxy. If it's CH3R, if R is CH3, it's called methoxy. So alkoxy. Okay. And there are no double, there is no suffix for this. So don't worry. Okay. This is called ether group. Okay. I mean, it has the only prefix for just like how you have our halogens, right? So they also have like that only. Alkoxy is what you have to call it. Okay, this is a small thing which I missed. Anyways, we'll move on. Right. Okay. Next question. Okay. Fine. Okay. So you see what and all is there. There is one double bond. There is two, one at the top, one at the bottom. Right. Yeah, one at the top, one at the bottom. Then you have a fluorine. Then you have a triple bond also. Okay. I actually wait before doing this. Let me help you with certain small things. Then you can go for this question. Okay. So guys, whenever you have a double bond as well as a triple bond in the same compound, this is the thing which I have to tell you, right? So whenever you have a double bond and triple bond in the same compound, right? Now the name of this compound is going to be alkyne only, right? The name of the compound is going to be alkyne only, right? But the priority will go to double bond, that we already know. The priority wise, double bond has more priority. But when you have both double bond as well as triple bond in the same compound, the name, that is the suffix, has to end with "-ine", right? The suffix has to end with "-ine". So that means, are you going to treat this as a branch? How? We cannot treat it as a branch, because you would see that this entire carbon, it will be in the main chain. There are basically 4 carbon atoms in the main chain. How will you treat this as a branch? You cannot treat it as a branch. Now, in this case, only your secondary suffixes will come into the picture. Hope you understand, right? And these kind of cases, only when you're not able to treat double bond or triple bond or single bond as a branch, it has to come in the main chain. Then still, but there are 2 more functional groups like this. Say again, I repeat, you have a double bond and triple bond, right? And you cannot neglect the double bond to be in the branch because it comes in the main chain, right? So you cannot use alkenyl if you're thinking about it. You cannot use that, right? So these are the places where you will be using your secondary suffixes. Okay, so let me write the name of this compound. Okay, so definitely for first priority goes double bond. So we'll start numbering here: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right? Okay. So it's definitely the root. There are no branches. So let me write directly. So I'll directly go to the root word. It's pent. Right? Now pent, ine is where? Ine is in the 4th carbon atom. So you can directly put put 4 ine. Right? But before that, I have a double bond also. Right? So how you should write it is before, this is my second primary suffix, isn't it? So before the primary suffix, I should get a secondary suffix. Correct? Right? So how you should write it is pent 1 n. Okay, let me write it full. Okay, so this is my secondary suffix. In the first carbon atom, you have a double bond, right? You know what is the secondary suffix? Secondary suffix is n. 1 n. And where is the triple bond? Triple bond is in the 4th carbon atom. 4. I. Why is it happening? Right? 4i. This will be the name of this compound. So hope you understand how do you use the secondary suffixes. Not only in this case, whenever you have a double bond or triple bond with some other group, OH or whatever the group is, at all those places, you have to use a secondary suffix because you are not able to treat that particular thing as a branch, right? But if there was a compound like this, right? There's a double bond, triple bond, and there's a double bond, and say there's a double bond here. Right? Now, how much ever you do, whatever you do, either this or this has to be treated as a branch. right? So in those cases, definitely now in this particular compound, if you see, you have to use secondary suffix also, primary suffix also, and you have to use a prefix also. Is it not? Because maybe you will be able to accommodate this double bond in the main chain, or maybe you will be able to accommodate this double bond in the main chain. Either of that, both of them you will not be able to do, right? So in those cases, you will be using prefix part for the alkenes, right? But whenever you are able to accommodate the double bond, the triple bond, everything in the main chain, in those cases, you have to go for your secondary suffixes, right? And this you don't need to know the name of these compounds. Don't worry, nobody's going to ask you in the exams. Maybe if you go to JE level or advanced, yes, but for CBSE level, not required. This how to use the secondary suffix, yes, that you need to know. Is that okay? All right, now we can take up the question. What is the time? Okay, last question for the day. Okay, and okay, so this is the structure of the compound. Okay, take some time and answer this. So you have two triple bonds, one double bond, one CH3, one OH, and one iodine. All of them you have to account for.
I have a doubt.
Yeah.
So how can there be a triple bond in that iron?
Correct,
Because it'll be five.
correct. I just remove the iodine, then it will be fine. Yeah. Now you can do this.
So
Hmm.
this is 3 hydroxy Hep 6 and
No,
1 for
no. What is the most race group here? Which is the most prioritized group here? Which is the most prioritized group here? Which guys?
OH.
Yes, OH is the most prioritized group. So what should be the suffix? Why
So
are
I
you choosing?
didn't see methyl.
Yeah. So
Sir, is
when
it
you have, tell me, Kana.
2-methyl?
2-methyl? No, wrong.
So 6 methyl.
Okay, fine. 6-methyl.
Oh,
6 methyl Hep
Yeah.
6 and 1 for enol.
Okay, this is pretty difficult, right? Okay. See, whenever you have double bond, triple bond, and something else, right? Use two secondary suffixes. That's it. One for double bond, one for triple bond, and you end with the primary suffix as OL. That's it. That's what you need to do. Don't get confused. Okay, I'll do this. Okay, fine. Now, guys, priority goes to OH. right? So definitely I have to start from this side only. There is no doubt. 1, 2, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Right now, hope you understand why I did this, because even though you have double bond, triple bond, everything, OH gets the maximum priority. If I start to put 1 here, right, I will get a higher number for OH that I don't want. Right. Okay. Fine. Now let me get done with the prefix part first. There is only one prefix, that is your methyl group, right? So you just write 6 methyl, done, right? 6 methyl, one prefix part is done. Now entirely it is going to be root word, secondary suffixes and primary suffixes only, right? So you can see the root word would be hept. 7 carbon atoms are there in the main chain, right? Now you have to account for alcohol, so it has to end with, anyways, I'll just write it is going to be end with 3 all. Okay, it has to end with 3 all, because in third position I have an alcohol. Done. Now what you have to account for is your double bond and triple bonds, right? Fine. Now again, whenever you have the secondary suffix, again when you have en and yn, it's better to put en first, alphabetical order first, right? You have only one double bond, right? Where is the double bond? It's in the 6th position, right? So you write heps, hept, 6. Oh God. Hept 6 N, right? So 6 in 6 I have a double bond, right? Now then you have to go for the triple bond. Where you have triple bond? In the first position I have a triple bond, and in the 4th position I have a triple bond. Now how do you write it? Now 6N 1, 4. Now you have how many? Obviously di, and what is the secondary suffix? YN 3 all. This is the answer to this question. Okay, 6 methyl is very easy. Numbering done. Hept is root word, very easy. Now in the 6th carbon atom, I have a double bond. So 6N, and you have 2 triple bonds in 1 and 4. So you write 1 and 4. You put di because there is 2, and the secondary suffix is YN, and you finish with your primary suffix, that is 3 all. Okay, guys, understood how to write the name of this compound?
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay, so I hope everybody understood. And so we'll stop with this for today. So tomorrow, next class also will be entirely for naming only. I'll just give you a lot of examples, and I want everyone to participate, right? I see that only 2 of you are answering. I don't know what about others, whether you understood or not, or I have to, maybe whenever I give a question, I have to ask someone in person answer this question, right? Anyways, let me do that if that's how it works. Cool, guys. Thank you so much. We'll meet again tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.